What's going on, SMX Inner Circle? How are you today on this lovely Tuesday? I'm JD. She's Lady M. We're going over Think and Grow Rich today, chapter 7, which we've been in chapter 7 for a minute, but I mean, Napoleon Hill, he gave us so much damn good content in this chapter that we just have to make sure that we touch on it all.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, make sure that you are inviting friends who are entrepreneurs and potential sports media members. I have opened it up for not just sports media, but entrepreneurs altogether because we're kind of learning the same things. Sports media acts as a combination of sports media and marketing and
Entrepreneur
entrepreneurship.
marketing.
That's what the X is. So if you do have somebody that wants to join for free, go ahead and invite them. And yeah, I'll accept it just as long as they know that outside of anything that I'm using that I promote to you, um, and the only things that I promote to you are things that I know work and that are good. There is no promoting of your own
Yeah.
products. You can
Not a free
network.
sales pitch.
Yeah, you can network, which is what this group is for, so that you can get another podcast, maybe even get together to do an event offline. But there is no get in and be like, "Hey, buy my gear" and stuff like that. There's none of that there. Um, but another announcement: we have added a second day of book club, which starts tomorrow because we actually have a second book. So we have Think and Grow Rich, which is a lot of the technical stuff. We've done Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson, which is very technical, and then we have started tomorrow with Just Giver, which is an excellent book. It's by Tim Shields. And we are also being joined by a third member of the cast, Ms. Rhonda Costa. Tomorrow will be a part of the panel
Mm-hmm.
as she is diving into the book as well. So, one of Rhonda's goals is to learn how to promote her services online, and the book does a great job of that. So, with that being said, let's jump into it because, to be honest with you, NBA playoffs starts in about 30 minutes. So, I mean, I'm not a Lakers fan, but I would enjoy watching them lose. I mean, I'm from Boston. What do you want? You think I'm going to cheer them on? Get out of your mind.
I don't know.
Oh,
Even the Lakers fans are scared right now. So,
yeah, I think they should be. I think they have
yeah.
every reason to be. All
Yeah.
right. So, in chapter 7, this week we are covering that we covered already why leaders are great and why they succeed. It's important to know the other side of that because you know what to look for with the people that not only the people that you want to surround yourself with, but the type of leader that you want to become. So there's
Yeah.
certain things that you want to look out
Yeah.
for.
Catch your own behavior so you can fix them.
What do you say we go through these one by one? We'll try to
Yeah.
finish in 23 minutes, but I'll read it and then we'll give some thoughts on
A
each
little
one.
chat. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the first one is an inability to organize details. Efficient leadership calls for ability to organize and to master details. No genuine leader is ever too busy to do anything which may be required of him or her. I'll throw that in there in his capacity as a leader. When a man, whether he is a leader or a follower, admits that he is too busy to change his plans or to give attention to any emergency, he admits his inefficiency. The successful leader must be the master of all details connected with his position. That means, of course, that he must acquire the habit of relegating details to capable lieutenants,
Yeah.
which is why I haven't told her yet. But guess who's in charge of tomorrow's book club? Just guess. Yes,
Rhonda.
she's on the screen. Yes.
She'll do awesome then. So that's
Yeah.
good.
No, I was talking about you.
Oh,
You're
you
actually in
expect me
charge
to
of
do it?
tomorrow's
Well, we'll
book
see how
club.
that goes. I'm not good at stuff like that.
Ah,
But
Well,
delegating is a very important tool, and I think a lot of people miss out on that.
so like I am the one that pretty much leads this one.
Mm,
I will rotate between you and Rhonda because these are things that you got to get comfortable with.
mm,
These are things as a part of the organization, as part of the brand. And Rhonda's actually part of Sports Media X. She
yeah,
covers football, does football photographs for us.
yeah, she's a good
Um,
partner.
yeah, like you guys need to be able to take the reins and run with this, not just for this group, but for your own things. Like if or when you finally decide to start talking about these awesome recipes that you know. Like for real. I mean, these are just practice sessions. Use these as practice sessions to um kind of get into it. But outside of relegating, what do you take or delegating? What do you take from the inability to organize details?
It's that person that comes to you and says, I want you to do blank, and has no idea how you're going to do it, and then gives you attitude. Like, oh, you just gonna have to figure it out then. Like, this was your idea, sir or ma'am. You're gonna have to give me some guidance. Like, as a developer, for me, that's like coming to me and saying, I want a system so people can work support tickets, and that's all I have to work with. So I have to guess what we're even supporting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have there's a huge difference between, like, say, micromanaging what we're talking about here. Here's just like if you were the construction foreman, you would have to know that first we need the foundation, then we're going to build the framework, then we're going to do this, and have people doing that and running like the teams and handling it and such. You wouldn't just show up at the site and go, okay, build a skyscraper, and then go sit in your office. In
Would it
theory, I'm sure
shock
there are people
you
like that.
as per like your role for tomorrow, would it shock you that I already have an outline that you will be able to follow?
Mm-mm.
Since yeah,
You're good at
I've
stuff
got
like
one.
that.
I've got one. You're pretty good at it too, but yeah, because I know that you've never done anything like this, so I do have
Yeah.
an outline for you to follow, and I'm not just gonna let you just sit there and go into space without any gear. All right, number 2. Unwillingness to render humble service. Truly great leaders are willing, when occasion demands, to perform any sort of labor which they would ask another to perform. Quote,
Mhm.
the greatest among ye shall be the servant of all, is a truth which all able leaders observe and respect. I would
Mhm.
never ask any member of my team to do something that I can't do
Yeah.
or that I can't show you how to do it.
Yeah.
Like
You've ever had the
I'm
boss that's like, "Well, that's not my job. That's beneath my position," kind of a thing. This is the
wow.
flaw.
Like I'm
It's
not
the
going to
exact
just
flaw.
tell you that you need to go out and give 50 leads for our organization tomorrow if I
Right.
have yet to have a 50 lead day,
Right.
right? So I would never ask anyone within our organization to do more. I would have them strive to be bigger than me, strive to be better than me, but I would never ask them to do more than what I could do unless they volunteer their services.
Right. Right.
Um, Number 3, expectation of pay for what they know, quote, know, instead of what they do
Mhm.
with that which they know. The world does not pay men for that which they know, it pays them for what they do or induce
Mhm.
others to do.
This
Thoughts?
reminds me of a million people that we met back in our University of Phoenix days that constantly went on, well, I have the master's degree, but were lazy as hell and did nothing. But they were
Mm,
always bitching, like, "Well, I have all this knowledge, you should be paying me more." Not if you're not going to use it, bud. It has to be put to use. It has to be a doing situation. I agree with that. Like, there has to be output of some kind.
right? It doesn't matter like what's your title, your rank, or what it says on a piece of paper. It really doesn't.
It
Like,
doesn't.
I have 3 degrees, you have a master's degree
Mhm.
as well. That doesn't say anything as far as what we know about marketing.
It talks about your education level, and maybe if you have a specialty like me, I learned my software development stuff during my program, but it doesn't speak to what you can actually do.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
I agree. In that one
Num-
particular sense, education can be overrated.
Absolutely. Number 4, fear of competition from followers. The leader
Mm,
who fears that one of his followers may take his position is practically sure to realize that fear sooner or later. The able leader trains understudies to whom he may delegate at will any of the details of his position. Only in this way may a leader multiply himself and prepare himself to be at many places and give attention to many things at one time. And it goes on, but I think it's pretty much hit its point.
mm-hmm.
So one of the examples that I love to use is like you have an employee and you have a manager. The employee goes up to the manager. Manager ask questions, like, where do you want to be, like, in this job and whatnot. And the employee says, well, in about 6 months, I'd like to be in your position. And there's one of two ways to look at it. A person who is not a leader then feels threatened because
Uh-huh.
they know they have somebody coming after their job
Right.
and basically shuts that person down because I am not going to train you to replace me.
Right.
Or B, the servant leader says, okay, if this is the path that you want to go on, you truly are dedicated to go after this path. These are the steps that we need to take,
Mm-hmm.
starting with A, B, and C. And we are going to start training you on A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Because there's different ways to look at this. You're coming after my job, or this can be beneficial for both of
See,
us.
I
If
personally think if you take it as, oh, they're going to replace me, number one, why would somebody be able to? Are you not doing your job well enough to the point where any new person could come in and look good and take your position? Number two,
I'm going to have to
why
work harder.
replace?
Yeah.
Everyone that works under you should be at your level. Like you should be bringing them up to the level that you're doing. And all that's going to do is not only get them promoted, but also get you promoted in theory, right? Like
Yeah.
to the next level up. It's not, but yeah, if you're doing it right, then everyone that you have trained is going to be able to work at your level.
Absolutely.
It's just better for the
Absolutely.
organization all around.
It should be. I mean, you should see it as a leader. Like, I've used this quote so many times. Like, well, there's another one, and that's the best go-getters are usually the best go-givers.
Right.
So if you give to your people, to your team, eventually you will get. And
Mm-hmm.
you should not put a timeline on that.
Mm-mm.
Like, it will come back to you.
It,
Like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
there's only a matter of time before upper management starts to notice where all of their leaders are coming from.
Right.
And then they're going
Right.
to be like, well, then we need to promote
And
Marnie because all of her team's getting promoted.
it allows the growth overall for the company. Because now if
Yeah.
you've got people in at the whatever the base level is that are working at the same level as the next people up, then that allows for expansion. That
Mm-hmm.
allows for you to do more, like that increase your productivity, I guess is the right word to say it.
Right.
It's nothing bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Number 5, lack of imagination. We've covered the chapter on imagination, but without
Mhm.
imagination, the leader is incapable of meeting emergencies and of creating plans by which to guide his followers
Yeah.
efficiently.
Yeah.
This is huge. No,
Basically,
no, no,
they're
no, no, no.
unable to think up solutions
We're not
on the fly.
gonna try something new because
Right.
like this is the way we're supposed to do it.
Right. The building's on fire, but since the one fire extinguisher I know about is out, we have nothing else that we can use to put it out. Is that you have to be able to think up a new creative way to handle every solution and every
Yeah,
emergencies, especially because you don't got time to mess around with emergencies.
right?
You got to handle them.
Number 6, selfishness. I have never had a selfish manager, ever.
Mm,
The leader who claims all the honor for the work of his followers is sure to be met by resentment. The really great leader claims none of the honors. He is
right.
contented to see the honors where or when there are any go to his followers because he knows that most men will work harder for commendation and recognition than they will for money alone.
Yeah. Gotta give people credit
I
for what they've done. It's
I
like
had a moment
basic,
today.
basic. Oh yeah.
I had a moment today. I shared it with you, but it was a pretty big moment for me within our organization. Like, I always give credit to our community,
Mm-hmm.
right? Give credit to our community, those that I'm learning from, those that partake in what we're doing. I'm always giving credit. Then today, out of the blue, on Funnel Hacker TV, like the same people that I've been giving credit to turned around and gave credit to me, and I was like, "Whoa, that
Yeah, it was
was."
pretty big. It was nice.
It was big. It was nice. It was definitely unexpected, but I
Yeah.
get with it because they're leaders. I follow them because they're leaders.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have expected it. I don't know, but I mean, it's absolutely correct. Like when everything's going horrible, it's not Marnie's job because she can't hit her deadline. It's not, Rhonda's job because she can't hit her deadline. It's my job because I'm the leader of this team and I did not
Mm-hmm.
prepare you well enough to hit your deadline.
Didn't monitor what was going on or contribute.
Contribute.
Well,
Go.
your team
Yeah, you've
starts
had
getting
that.
behind, you contribute. They might not be behind anymore. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right. Number 7, intemperance. Followers do not respect an intemperate leader.
Mm.
Moreover, intemperance in any of its various forms destroys the endurance and the vitality of all who indulge in it. Once
Yeah.
again, I have never had a manager that has pretty much sucked the life out of me.
Yeah. This is the person
Ever.
that flies off the handle and does things like swear, throw stuff around, just loses their biscuits every time something didn't go the way they want and immediately lashes out at everyone around them.
I
No
had
one
one
wants to
that I
work with that
walked out
guy
on. I
or
had
girl.
one that I walked out on because I crushed it.
Mm.
Right? I was very happy for hitting my numbers, absolutely crushed it. And then I was forced to sit into a come to Jesus meeting where
Yeah.
everybody was getting chewed out. And I stood up
Yeah.
and I started walking out. She said, "Where are you going?" I said, "This isn't for me." And
Yeah.
we went at it later on in the day. And not long after that, I ended up getting fired.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I should not have had to sit through that.
Right.
At a
Well, the
very
whole
minimum,
punish
good.
everybody for one person's mistake thing is not appropriate in the real adult world. There are
Maybe
places
it's
that are.
appropriate in the army when it's
Yeah.
life and death. You need to make
Right.
sure you watch your battle buddies back.
But not an office job.
No,
Like, there's a huge difference between those two worlds. So,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, Number 8, disloyalty. Perhaps
Mm,
this should have come at the head of the list. The leader who is not loyal to his trust and to his associates, those above him and those below him, cannot
mhm,
long maintain his leadership.
mhm.
Disloyalty marks one as being less than the dust of the earth and bring down on one's head the contempt he deserves. I feel like he's almost like being biblical here.
All
Lack of
right.
loyalty is one of the major causes of failure in every walk of life. If you follow me, there is one individual that I give mad props to on a daily basis. What's his name?
Russell Brunson.
Abso-friggin-lutely. I am loyal to ClickFunnels. I am not in here telling you to go anywhere else. Not because we're trying to grow our cult, but because I truly believe in
Believe
our
in the product.
leadership and our community.
Yeah.
And there is no reason whatsoever to think that the grass is greener anywhere else
It was a
because
really
it's
good
not.
community.
It is an awesome,
But
phenomenal community.
What I took out of this one is slightly different from what you're saying, although it's on the same page. I
Uh-huh.
think this is like the boss that throws you under the bus every time something goes
Ugh.
wrong. That's disloyal. You've got a hardworking person, or like if you're the hard worker on your team and so over here is slacking off, all of a sudden you have to pick up the slack. That's also disloyal. No one else should have a heavier workload. Like if you're going to pay me more or give me some sort of give and take thing here for the extra work, sure. But if it's just going to be my responsibility to make up for what everybody else is not doing, that's not okay. That's disloyal.
Oh,
We're treating
absolutely.
your hard worker like a piece of crap. Who wants? Why work hard if that's
Come
how
to
you're going to get
Jesus means,
treated?
right? Like, and there's so many ways that an organization should show that they appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is
Hey,
okay. Well, yeah,
sorry. Monetary helps the best. So but go ahead. What was yours?
yeah, that definitely helps. One of the things that I wrote, and you can actually get a free copy of it, is called an ultimate vision statement guide, because all companies out there have a mission statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, I do have a master's in leadership. All of my degrees are in management.
Yeah.
Um, all my lower two are in management. A mission statement is basically for the outside world. It's not for the inside world. It's not
Yeah.
for the people inside the doors. And very few organizations, if you ask them today, can show you a vision statement,
Yeah.
which is basically built to let those know under you
Mm-hmm.
and that work with you exactly why we are pushing hard and what it is for. Not just what the company
The
gets,
base
but
of the
what
company's
you get.
culture. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's important to let everybody know from entry level on up exactly why we demand what we demand, because
Yeah.
we are going towards a goal that benefits everybody,
Yeah.
not
Mission is
just
like the
the owner.
product that your company is putting out being explained. But
Yeah.
vision is how you explain work culture to your employees, like what the actual
Yes.
company itself. Yeah, yeah, I
Great
get
way of
it.
putting it. You could have said that 5 minutes ago and stopped me from my rant, but okay.
I liked your
Um,
rant though.
Thank you. Number 9, emphasis of the quote authority of
Yeah,
leadership.
yeah.
I'm going to read this, but I already have a great quote by Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek basically says, and I use this everywhere when we talk about true leadership. Leadership is not a rank or a
Right.
position. It is the ability to sacrifice yourself, your time, or your energy for the benefit of others.
Hmm.
That is leadership. That is why every general is not a Medal of Honor winner.
Right.
That's why they give that award out to privates, to sergeants, to lieutenants, to lower ranking individuals other than people that sit on the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Right.
Right? All right. So let me read the Napoleon Hill version. Says the efficient leader leads by encouraging and not by trying to instill fear in the hearts of his followers. The leader who tries to impress his followers with his quote authority comes within the category of leadership through force. If a leader is a real leader, he will have no need to advertise that fact except by his conduct, his sympathy, understanding, fairness, and a demonstration that he knows his job. And I like that one too.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yep.
Any
That's the
second thoughts on that?
that's the guy that's always threatening to write you up.
Yeah.
It's always coming at you with if you don't do this, you get written up. If you do that again, oh, you'll be fired or blah blah blah. Yeah. Anyways.
Those people remind me of the it's Indiana Jones. I think it was one with the oh wow, where he like takes the heart out of his chest and like all that stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be
The
a
three
sacrifice.
stones. Yeah. But as they're working in the rock quarry, they have whips for the children. And
Yeah.
that's what I think of when I think of these types of managers. They
Yeah.
whip you because they can.
Yeah.
They're not stronger than you. They're not more powerful than you. They're just in a position where they can, so they do it.
Bullies, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dicks.
All right.
Moving on.
Number
Number
10.
10. Emphasis of title. The competent leader requires no title to give him the respect of his followers. The man who makes too much over his title generally has little else to emphasize. The doors to the office of the real leader are open to all who wish to enter, and his working quarters are free from formality or ostentation.
Right.
Zero judgment. If you need something, you come to me.
Right.
Not only me, but you can come to me.
Yeah.
All right. There's no dumb question. I actually did a live today that talked about how people let their ego hold their hands down when they need help.
Yeah.
Like it keeps you from being able to raise your hand.
We all have this weird thing instilled into us that if we don't know a thing, we're terrible people. There's no
Yeah.
one on this planet that knows all the things. It's just stupid.
Not
We
even
should
Russell
have
Brunson.
we should have more of the ability to just ask each other. Like coming down on someone for not knowing something that's common sense to you is a huge pet peeve of mine, because like we all start from the same place, right? Someone had to teach us how to wipe our butts and eat with a spoon. Like we know nothing. So just because it's common sense to you doesn't mean the person who clearly doesn't get it ever even heard of it before. And rather
Right.
than lashing out and treating them like they're stupid, why would you not just explain it?
Right. And
Same.
that's for like there's a fear, there's a couple fears that people have. One is the fear of ridicule,
Mm-hmm.
and the other is fear of embarrassment.
Right.
Get over
My
it.
family, we make fun of each other relentlessly. Jeff is starting to learn this more and more, poor guy. We make fun of each other relentlessly. And if we have a horribly embarrassing story, we are most likely to be the ones to share it.
Yeah.
If you can get past those two things, you can accomplish a lot more in life, because you're going to be capable of asking a question. Even if you're like, I'm going to feel silly for asking this, but it's more important I find out the answer.
I'm more intrigued with the person who tells the story about all their failures and
Yeah.
what they learned from them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Russell does the same thing.
You can't internalize it. You got to turn a failure from being a failure into just a temporary setback, because it's only a failure when you stop trying.
Exactly. Every failure is a lesson. That's
Yes.
all it is.
Yeah.
You learn from every failure.
Like old
And
school
then you
80s
make
video
adjustments.
games.
Yeah.
You played
Oh
until
my
you died.
God. How
and
many
then
times
you learned how you died that time. Then you could play past that point until you died again. And then you would, but every time you would learn, and you would get further and further into the game until you could finally beat them.
What game are you playing right now? Is a free game from PlayStation. It's got like Zelda graphics. Yeah, Nobody Saves the World.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. You got to die a few hundred times and then move forward.
Yep.
And it's just how it is.
Yep.
That is it for the list. What would be a great stop? Some fertile fields in which new leadership will be required. No. Media through which services may be marketed. No.
I feel like there was another list in there
There's quite a few of them.
End that we would probably actually want to talk about.
How to get the exact position you desire?
Yeah, that advice is still valid, I feel like. What he talked about, how to like build a portfolio of examples specific to the company by researching the company, et cetera, et cetera. It was good advice.
It is. Let's do that one. Well, there's another one. The 30 major causes of failure.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I'm thinking.
That's the one we'll do next week.
Okay.
That's probably going to be an hour.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be an hour.
That's a lot. It's a lot, but it's good information, because you got to be able to look at what you're doing and recognize the warning signs. It's the only way that you'll be able to start correcting to get yourself back on the right path.
Look, don't fault yourself for what you don't know.
Right.
Fault yourself for what you don't seek.
Right.
That should be on a fortune
Actions.
cookie. I thought of that in my mind, and I'm blown away that I actually just thought of that. Don't fault yourself for what you don't know. Fault yourself for what you don't seek.
Yeah.
Raise your hand. Ask questions. It's the only way you're going to grow. It's by adding new knowledge.
If people are coming at you rude, ask different people those questions. Like that's a good way to start filtering out the toxic people that you don't really need to waste time on. If somebody's going to give you shit about a question, they're not helping you. They're not on your side.
No, they're not. That's pretty much it for today. We're cheering for the Pelicans and for the Kings tonight because I don't want to see LeBron or Steph Curry. I love Steph Curry. I don't want to see him in the playoffs this year. Yeah,
it would be interesting.
I would like
a pure
I would like
playoff
Steph
without
over.
any of the major. Yeah.
I would like Steph over LeBron. I'm done with LeBron and the guy with the 10th place team or whatever getting all the spots on ESPN when the guys in the first place team are rarely talked about.
Yeah.
So I'm done with it.
I feel you.
That's it. That's it for us. If you have questions, put them in the comments and we will answer them. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Again, we are going through the first business. They're not chapters, they're businesses.
Okay.
Business number 1 in Just Giver by Tim Shields. So it's a pretty good read so far. All right. That's it. I'm done babbling. We're done. Take care.